Good afternoon. I'm Nick Bonner for treestuff.com. We're coming to you with breaking news. This weekend in Wisconsin, a plane, do we know what kind of plane it was, Jason? A four-seater Cessna crashed into a tree in Kettle Moraine State Forest in Wisconsin, outside the town of Whitewater. And Jason Dudek was on the scene to rescue the living survivors, right? Everybody's lived, right? That's amazing, Jason. So walk us through, tell the audience who you are. Are you a rescue professional? Tell them what you do and a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm a certified arborist. I've had my own business for 13 years now. I'm also a certified tree climber, certified aerial lift operator, chipper operator, chainsaw operator. I don't do rescue, but I have participated in Tree Stuff's rescue rally competition that you guys had. In state tree climbing competitions, I've done the aerial rescue event, 4 or 5 times now. So that's the experience that I
can't hear Jason.
Yeah. They should be able to now.
Okay, Jason, start over with your bio. Sorry, man.
No problem. So, Jason Dudek, I'm arborist out of Wisconsin. I've had my own business for 13 years now. He said ISA certified arborist, one of few certified tree care workers in Wisconsin. Had a little bit of experience with doing the Tree Stuff Rescue Rally Challenge last year, and then just participating in comps, doing the aerial rescue, competition and stuff. So that's kind of my background on trees and stuff. I was sitting at home Saturday night relaxing. Ended up getting a phone call around 10:30 from a friend of mine who's an EMT for I believe the town of Elkhorn.
So hold on, take us into the phone call a little bit. How does someone open a call like that? Are they like, was he freaking out, or is he like, Jason, you're not going to believe this? Tell us a little bit.
Well, in fact, he actually called first, and he wasn't calling from his number. He had somebody else's number. He wasn't getting cell phone reception out there. So he called initially, and I'm like, who the heck is calling me at 10:30 at night? And I kind of just was like, let him leave a message. They did leave a message, but then they called back like right away, and I'm like, all right, something must be important. So I answered it, and it's my friend Ed, and he was like, hey, we got a rescue situation out here that we could probably use the tree guy's perspective. We're having issues on how we're going to get set rigging in a tree this high up in the woods. We don't have access to equipment and stuff like that. And the other part of it is, he's like, we don't really understand how structurally sound the tree that the plane is in, and how well it's going to be able to hold that plane and people coming to rescue people out of the plane. So my first thoughts were like, this is awesome. Like, I wanted to do a rescue like this forever. Like, this is great. Like, I looked at my wife and my friend that was sitting there. I'm like, sorry, gotta go. Whipped down another pair of pants, and I grabbed my bag, and I was out the door. Ran up to my truck, grabbed a bunch of gear, my big shot, throw line, saddle, ropes, my bin of all my ascenders and stuff like that.
And Jason, where did you get all that stuff?
99% of it from Tree Stuff.
So you could almost make a claim that Tree Stuff rescued these people.
Oh yeah, there's a good yeah. I had my Jet Step on. I was using my Turtle Burger Tachyon that I actually won at Jambo. I had my.
Can I claim that I was part of the rescue?
You can. I will let you make that claim.
Oh boy.
Now we're cooking with gas. Listen, if you're just joining us, Jason Dudek was the instrumental arborist expert, the guy who helped these rescuers get up into this tree and rescue 3 survivors from a plane that crashed in the middle of the woods in Kettle Moraine State Forest in Wisconsin over the weekend. Jason, how high up was the tree?
They were a good 70, 80 feet, maybe a little bit higher up in a tree. I mean, it's an old growth forest with, I mean, there are 140, 150 foot oak trees back there. I mean, it was a hike up. I mean, I felt like being at Jambo, like lugging up the 36-inch old McCullough, McCullough with the 36-inch bar up in the tree, pulling gear up there and stuff for him. I mean, I was up there and stuff.
So now, if you're near Wisconsin, and you're not, I wouldn't recommend going and messing with this plane, right? It could fall out of the tree, hit you in the head. Who knows? But it's somewhere around where the pin is on the map on the screen. But don't go there. But if you do, send pictures for sure to media@treestuff.com. Jason, what was the level of concern that the plane might fall? Did it seem like it was secure where it was? Was it entangled?
No, it was pretty locked in there. Once I got to look at it and see where it was, I mean, it on either side of the fuselage, hooked onto a wing, was probably a good at least 12-inch diameter oak limb. So I mean, it was wedged in there, and then the tail of it was sitting up on another branch. So I mean, likelihood of it going somewhere were pretty slim. More likely, it would have been failure of a limb that you just didn't know was damaged and cracked off from when the plane impacted it.
Sure. Was there fuel everywhere? Was there concern of fire?
No, we didn't smell any fuel. We didn't see any fuel drips or anything like that. The plane actually looked in relatively good shape. Besides the door was blown off. I guess apparently that's where the parachute comes out of. So the plane actually has
the plane parachuted into because it had an engine problem or something.
Yep. It was a single engine plane that had engine problems. They pulled the parachute, and it ended up going down in the forest there.
So tell us a little. Okay, so how far from your vehicle was the scene?
I mean, I was parked a couple blocks down the road in the staging area where they had, dozens of rescue trucks and ambulances and stuff. We had to take, like I said, it's 2-3 blocks down the road from there. And then, it was a 15-minute on UTV trip through, crazy terrain going through there. Before I had gotten there, they had been there on the scene for over an hour, around an hour at least, probably. Before that, they were actually cutting stuff to make the path wide enough just to get the UTV back there. And even that was hard to get back there. One of them, they ended up getting back there. Two of them, they left back a little bit further just because it was too hard on the machines to try and even get those back there.
Dozens of rescuers are on standby waiting for Jason Dudek to come in. How cool! How cool is this, right? And when you get there, they're all like, shh, the tree guy's here, right?
I don't know that they were necessarily waiting on me. They were waiting to get, I guess, probably a little bit of advice and stuff on how to get rigging up that high into a tree. But when I got there, the big comment was, "Why do I need the gun case and stuff?" It's my big shot. As soon as everyone found out it was a big shot, everyone wanted to see it. Everyone wanted to like, dude, I can't wait to see you use that thing.
So Cheryl Tree big. So Notch big shot.
It's actually it was a while ago. It was a Cheryl Tree one.
We can say the Notch big shot saves 3 people in plane crash.
The deluxe big shot with the case.
Deluxe big shot saves 3 people in plane crash. Okay, tell the audience, tell us all. I think we all want to know what's the how are the people, the victims? Are they flipping out? Were they scared? Were they just waiting?
No, I actually gave them 10 tons of credit. They were actually really calm. They understood that moving around in a plane in a tree is probably like, a car teetering on the edge of a cliff. Like, you just don't want to move. Just sit still, be comfortable. I was actually, when I got up into the tree, I was kind of laughing, joking with them, talking with them and stuff. And I also gave them a lot of credit. All 3 of them had to climb off the wing of a plane out the door and literally now it was a controlled swing, but they had to take a swing out from away from the plane to where the rigging was, and then be dropped down from 80 some feet in the dark, misting outside, like I know people that have been at comps that are, that climb for a living that are afraid to be up 80 feet in a tree. So
Sure.
to never having done it, and you're climbing out of a plane, and then you have to literally jump off and take a light little swing. Like, it's not easy for somebody to do, and I gave them a lot of credit for being cool, calm, and like I said, the other thing is not one of them even hesitated. I mean, they walked out of the plane like, okay, I trust you guys. I'm doing what you're telling me to do, and I know I'm going to be safe, and they were.
Well, Jason, I know you want to give all the credit to the people that you rescued and to Tree Stuff, obviously, for supplying all the equipment, but I think that you deserve the credit, man.
Yeah.
I think I'm so jealous of you. Like, what a cool thing. I think our entire audience is, if you're jealous, drop a comment. If you're jealous that Jason got to rescue 3 people from a plane that crashed in Kettle Moraine Forest and was suspended in a forest of oak trees, 80 feet off the ground, middle of the night. What questions haven't we asked?
So, well, here, let me go through it a little bit. So they ended up taking me into the back, back out by the plane and stuff. I started looking at the tree the plane was in, realizing, like, not a good idea to be climbing in that. I kind of looked like there's a tree behind it. I might be able to send a line through the tree that the plane was in, anchor to the one behind it and stuff. But then I ended up, the arborist kicked in, the comp thing kicked in. Like, take your time. Like, those guys are fine. Everyone's okay. Just do the smart thing. Take your time. Think about stuff. I ended up looking around, finding another tree with great access to the plane, limb about 15 feet away from the plane. Ended up looking at it like, all right, I got a crotch right there I can hit. One of the rescuers came up, said, hey, I'm in charge here. Like, what are you thinking right now? And I'm like, well, I got a big shot. I can hit that crotch up there. I can go up there. That limb's about 12, 14 inches, about 10 feet above there. I can set you guys some rigging there. Looks like I can redirect it over by a limb that's on the tree by the plane. And then you guys can go directly up and be literally right on the plane when you go up. And he kind of looked at me like, yeah, if you can do that, like, awesome. Like, go ahead. Like, yeah. And now I was joking around. I had to comment on one of the Facebook pages for the line throwers and throwball guys. So it's dark out. They got a bunch of Milwaukee lights, pointed up in the air and stuff. But I also have like 20 people around me that are just crazed to see like this big shot in action and stuff. Dark out, misting out. First shot, I nailed the crotch that I was hoping for. Like, in a wooded area, there's all sorts of crud on the ground. I couldn't have my throw bag like 5 feet in front of me because it would have been tangled in brush and stuff. So I was worried that it was going to get tangled in the top of the big shot. No, nailed my shot first shot.
First shot, that had to feel awesome.
Bag came down to the ground. Guy's like, hey, I got your bag over here. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, beautiful. Ended up hooking my line up, pulling it. I yelled clear. And this is where, like, it had to take a minute. I wasn't thinking. I yelled clear, like, pulling my line up. I started pulling my line up. Guys didn't move, like, and I didn't pay attention to it. I started pulling my line up. Of course, a nub busts off, and it cracks the dude, hits him in the top of the helmet, and hits him in the nose, and, like, he got a nosebleed and stuff. And I'm like, oh, Lord, this isn't starting well. Like,
no, you nailed the first shot and you rescued. Yep. Now these were women and children in the plane, right? That you rescued?
No, there was a dad, I believe his son and his son's friend is what it was. And the 2 boys were, I'm guessing, later high school, maybe even young college kids. I'm not sure offhand.
Disadvantaged youth. Tree Stuff and Jason Dudek saved father and 2 disadvantaged youth from plane crash. They were disadvantaged because their plane crashed. That's a disadvantage.
Not that they were in a personal jet.
No, just it's a disadvantage if your plane crashes. What an incredible story! There was another guy, Gerald Dillman. He may be watching. That did a rescue a couple of weeks ago. We meant to do a little broadcast like this, but we didn't. We should set set it up for next week and interview Gerald in the same way.
Yeah.
And we talk. He was the guy that was in that photograph where he was hanging off the side of the bridge next to the truck.
Yep. I remember that.
In the trailer.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. Look, tree guys are rescuing people all across the world.
Yep.
And that's a pretty cool thing, right? Lives are being saved by everyday arborist saves lives. I'm loving these headlines.
And this wasn't even my first one, Nick. I actually found a lady start a couple weeks ago. We were at a job site. A lady started a fire in her fireplace. Had never had her fireplace cleaned. There were flames shooting out the top of her chimney. I ended up running and telling her to call 911. Fire department came, ended up putting out her chimney. I ended up getting a thank you letter from her a couple weeks later. Like I never would have known my house was on fire.
You're an everyday hero, Jason. It's amazing.
The key here is
look at
always
what
be around.
This is so cool. This pickup truck. Gerald was on Good Morning America, and he had a plane hanging off, or a car hanging off a bridge. Cars are on bridges all the time. I'll bet you that you could get on Good Morning America to talk about this airplane that crashed into a tree before you rescued 2 children and a distressed father from it. I mean, what an amazing story. Gerald, if you're watching, will you send the producer's info that you talked to at Good Morning America to Jason?
Yeah, and hey, tell Jake Miller, his old company, Fox 6 News, interviewed me last night. I was on Fox 6 News, where he was an anchor for a little while, or at least a backup anchor.
Jake's an archaeologist now, and he runs around in his Indiana Jones hat. So I know that you and Jake were close. So I texted Jake, and I'm like, look, we're going to be interviewing Jason Dudek because he rescued 3 people from a plane that crashed into a tree in Kettle Moraine State Forest over the weekend. And you should watch. Jake, are you watching? If you're watching, leave a comment. Mary Zimmerman, is that your mom?
That's my mom.
She says she's proud of you. She wanted me to tell you. She left that in the chat.
I had an awesome mom growing up, so
we can almost say Mary Zimmerman rescued these people.
Yeah.
She had a hand in it.
Essentially, Tree Stuff and Mary.
I'm her favorite child. You do know that, right?
Of course. Well, listen, Jason, I don't want to prevent you from rescuing anyone else today. I got to say, congratulations. What a cool story. What an amazing thing that you did rescuing these 3 people from this plane that crashed. If you're in the Kettle Moraine State Forest area and you're near this pin, don't trespass. Don't go stand underneath the plane, and don't do anything around that plane at your own risk, because it sounds really dangerous, and I definitely recommend you stay very far away from the space on the map, especially even if it sounds interesting. Don't go there. Don't take pictures. Don't email them to media@treestuff.com, okay?
And I'm assuming that the FAA is going to be out there for the next couple of days, too, so...
They probably won't be there at night, though.
Yeah, there's you.
Those guys gotta sleep. Jason, cheers, man. You're a hero. Our hats are off for you, buddy.
Hey, thanks again for having me. And like I said, hey, it is a large part because of you guys at Tree Stuff. I mean, I've met great people there at Jambo, at the Tree Stuff courses, the splicing class. Being able to converse with all those people online has made me the arborist that I am today. It's been work, doing rigging challenges at Jambo with Taylor Hamill. Like, that helped prepare me for stuff like this, working, and being judged by guys like that, that are picky. Like, when we did that rescue challenge, I mean, those were some of the pickiest people in our industry to rate us on. And
you did such a great job in the rescue rally, Jason. As I think one of the smallest companies involved in it.
Yeah,
you guys put out a hell of an effort. It was awesome to watch. And look, now you're a real life aerial rescue hero.
And it all paid off, and it worked out.
From rescue rally to national hero, Jason Dudek Day. We should have a sale next year. We'll call it Jason Dudek.
Oh, hey, if you do, I'll buy something.
Okay, Jason. Hey, thanks a bunch, buddy. Happy Jason Dudek Day, everybody.
Hey, thank you guys. Thanks for having me again. And like I said, thanks for all the support. Thanks for all the awesome deals on gear and stuff like that. And all the free knowledge. Like I said, the webinars are literally amazing. I love watching them, and I've learned a ton of stuff from them. So thank you again for doing all that stuff.
Thank you.
Bye, Jason. Have a good one, buddy.
Bye.